Hi, welcome to this 9-part series on how to format and write resumes presented to you by the Gov Geeks. This week, we'll talk about basics worth repeating. There's 3 really for us to talk about today. Number 1, your email address. Number 2, formatting for the systems. And then lastly, number 3, acronyms and spelling. So the first off, email addresses. More often than not, we hear different email addresses that need to be professional. So here are some tips and pointers to help you manage all of that. Make sure that it is something appropriate for the audience that's receiving the information. So if you are going for executive positions, perhaps it's not so good to use your existing college address. Number 2, if you're applying for a federal job, also don't use your current government job email address as well. Make sure you're spreading it out so this way you're focused in a little bit more on the position that you're going for as opposed to demonstrating the one that you have right now. Also, it's worth repeating again to make sure that this is professional sounding. A good first name dot last name, a first name last name at Gmail, Hotmail, whatever address that you're looking for. Also, you can decide to create an email address specifically for your campaign. So you can make sure that you are monitoring, you are sending the right messages to the right individuals, using the right tone. You can also create your own signature block for each of these. The importance of this is to present yourself as the most professional individual possible. Next, make sure that your resume is formatted appropriately. So agencies use different types of technology. These essentially are applicant tracking systems, or ATSs. Some organizations use these a little bit more closely than others, but the large theme is still the same. The system has to be able to read the information that you're presenting. With this said, make sure that your resume can be read by the systems. What do I mean by that? Well, make sure that you're using 1-inch margins, that the text is very plain and very simple. Don't use a whole lot of extra unique characters that can't really be translated well into Word documents or into Notepad documents in the systems as they like to read and translate this information. Also, don't use any pictures or any loud types of fonts or formatting that makes it a little bit more challenging to read. Remember, government resumes don't have to be limited to 1 page. So as a result of this, you can ensure that the page goes over to 2, 3, sometimes even up to 5 pages. But that's roughly the good number to get to. Make sure that the formatting looks good, not only for the systems, but again, also for the readers as well. Make it engaging. Make it something that they would like to read. So if it's a whole lot of text and it's just completely filled page to page, or there's tons of pictures all over, it's not going to be something that they're going to really want to take time to look at. So make sure that it's formatted correctly. Lastly, number 3, make sure to address all of the acronyms. Now, working in government's fun because it's basically alphabet soup. There's an acronym for almost anything. The positions, the organizations, the titles, addresses, the list kind of goes on and on. But they are also unique to that individual agency or organization. So for the reader, help make sure you spell out what those acronyms are. So when and where to do this. You should structure your resume towards the beginning of having like your summary, your background information. Spell out the acronyms there. Then later on, when you're describing your individual qualifications from your positions, spell out the acronyms again there as well. So this way, the reader isn't going back and forth from the beginning to your experience area to try to figure out what the acronyms are. The more convenient you make it for them, the easier it's going to be for them to want to recommend you. Also, look for different acronyms that they are going to be interested in. For instance, if you're applying for financial jobs, well, put in the financial systems that you're working with. If it's acquisition jobs, same thing, use those acquisitions. If you're part of the intelligence community, use the acronyms that are there as well. You want to convey that you have the expertise that they are looking for. So that's it. 3 tips, basic tips worth repeating to help get your resume into shape. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.